Yo, Joe. Talking comics, here's your host. It's A Real American Brian.
All right, time to read some more G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. Issue number 23. We get a Michael Golden cover. He would do a few covers for G.I. Joe along with the wonderful yearbook number 2. Clutch, Roadblock, and Cobra Commander on the cover. They will all feature prominently in this issue. Cobra Commander captured at last. Larry Hama is writing, and Mike Vosberg and D'Agostino are providing the art. Snow Job's in the mountains, keeping an eye on the Burn Institute, where Baroness is getting her reconstructive surgery. Snow Job reports back to Duke that he has spotted Baroness, and security is light. He can grab her now. Duke tells him to hold position. If she is here, all they have to do is wait for Cobra to show up to get her. Duke, sitting next to Roadblock undercover, begins to talk into a suitcase. Covergirl and Clutch are standing by, ready to tail Major Blood as soon as he appears. Roadblock spots Major Blood hailing a cab across the street. Duke tells Covergirl and Clutch to follow him, as Roadblock continues complaining about the quality of the food. Back at the pit, the Joes are tracking Baroness with a beeper they placed in her while she was unconscious. Good thing that wasn't found during her reconstructive surgeries. Duke asks for backup and is denied. Hawk needs everyone at the pit working to get it secured again. In Switzerland, Major Blood switches cars and then heads into a telegraph station to make an international call. Blood calls Cobra Commander and demands a ransom for Baroness and his silence. If he doesn't pay up, he's going to tell Destro about Cobra Commander's plot to kill him. Cobra Commander has to comply. Cobra Commander comes out of his hideout thinking about Major Blood and how horrible of a poet he is, hops in a car and has the driver take him to a luggage store and the bank. Clutch and Covergirl climb the cliff face to get up to Snow Job so they can all watch from a distance as Major Blood goes to see Baroness. Duke's still talking to his luggage and Roadblock is still complaining about the food. Cobra Commander's car pulls into a plane with a Gucci bag full of $2 million. Major Blood has brought Baroness her new outfit to match the action figure, and she is revealed with her new uniform and reconstructed beauty. The Joes are able to see that Major Blood has tickets to Lucca and know where they are going next. In Lucca, Roadblock is much happier with the quality of the food. There's a costume ball and a big celebration all through the city. Even if Cobra Commander shows up without a disguise, he would never be noticed. Clutch and Covergirl are chasing after Baroness and Blood, who have picked up a bunch of gangsters with Tommy guns. Baroness orders the gangsters to shoot the Joes, and Clutch loses control of the car. As the car crashes into a pole, everyone in the town thinks it was a theatrical stunt and applaud them. Duke and Roadblock see Baroness and Blood and reach for their weapons. Blood sees them and somehow recognizes the new Joes, and turns to run them down. Roadblock pulls his .50 cal out of his guitar case and brings the car to a stop, but the gangsters pile on the Joes while Blood and Baroness escape. Blood and Baroness meet up with Cobra Commander and his driver. As the money is about to be handed over, the driver reveals himself to be Storm Shadow. Storm Shadow takes out the two gangsters and has a sword to Major Blood's neck, but Baroness pulls her weapon and has it pointed at Cobra Commander. Clutch and Covergirl are back on the road and see Snow Job driving the Vamp. Roadblock, free of the pile of gangsters, makes his way into the room to see the Cobras all threatening each other. Baroness takes Cobra Commander hostage and leaves out the back door. Roadblock and Duke begin fighting with Major Blood and Storm Shadow, leaving the Baroness and Cobra Commander to Clutch and Covergirl. We see Storm Shadow and Blood exit the building, but Baroness and Cobra Commander are gone. Clutch and Covergirl are hot on the heels of Cobra Commander and Baroness. Storm Shadow tells Major Blood they will follow them in a parade float, and Snow Job pulls the Vamp into the building to pick up the other Joes. We see that Storm Shadow dropped a chandelier on them to detain them. The car chase through the mountain pass is on. Baroness trying to make it to the Swiss border with the commander and the money. Storm Shadow shoots out one of Clutch's tires, but he refuses to give up. Clutch crashes into the float as it goes by, but only manages to peel the dragon covering off, helping them out. The vamp blows by the stranded Clutch and Cover girl, but they quickly commandeer a motorcycle and get back into the chase. A cement truck is coming down the mountain, headed straight for our car chase. It hits the vamp, tipping it over. The Joes take this opportunity to move personnel around and have Clutch drive the vamp with roadblock, while the rest of the Joes follow in the cement truck. Clutch has to make up for lost time to catch Cobra Commander's limo, so he takes the vamp straight down the vertical mountainside and crashes on the road right as the limo pulls up. Roadblock is a literal roadblock standing in the road with his 50 cal shooting at the limo. Cobra Commander exits the car and Baroness bails out but jumps on the skeleton of a float with Major Blood and Storm Shadow. She is smart enough to take the money with her. Storm Shadow wants to stop for Cobra Commander, but Major Blood speeds away. The Joes have Cobra Commander. Wow. What an action-packed adventure. This one had just about everything. A fun car chase, some espionage, blood, blackmail, and Cobra Commander, and then it ends with Cobra Commander caught. My favorite panel from this issue is Cobra Commander getting out of the limo in Luca. After seeing someone dressed in a costume very similar to Cobra Commander, the Joes don't even notice when the real deal gets out of a limo right behind them. This issue was a blast. It was full of action and adventure and really kept the overall story moving forward. I'm going to give it 5 flag points. But that is issue 23. Knowing is half the battle, and now you know. Subscribe so you don't miss out on the next issue, 24.
So long from Brian. Until next time, same Brian time, same Brian channel.